What is up, guys? It is Coasters and Things here today, and I'm reviewing Kentucky Flyer at Kentucky Kingdom. This is the latest roller coaster to be added to Kentucky Kingdom as of 2021, and it is a Gravity Group family wooden coaster. This may be a smaller coaster, but this is a perfect example of how family coasters can be thrilling too. Here are the stats for you. Its max height is 47 feet. Its length is 1,288 feet, and its max speed is 35 miles per hour. Now I know what you're thinking. Only 35 miles per hour? How can it be that good? Well, this coaster has several surprising moments of airtime. So this coaster first opened in April of 2019, and I first rode it in May 2019, and again in June of 2021. When I went in 2019, I ended up riding it 9 times in one day. Then this year at Keys to the Kingdom, I rode it 4 more times, so I've ridden it a total of 13 times now. It was built in the back of the park around Hurricane Bay. Some of the shots I actually got of it were by the lazy river. It really gives a nice backdrop with roller coasters all around the water park, with Kentucky Flyer off to the left, T3 straight ahead, and Thunder Run off to the right. And guys, this is a great ride. It is exactly what Kentucky Kingdom needed. They needed a good family coaster, and they got it. It's also great because they now have 2 wooden coasters again. They used to have 2, technically 3, Woodies when Twisted Twins was still around, along with Thunder Run, so now it is great that they have 2 wooden coasters again. And believe it or not, I actually do like this more than Thunder Run. So the entrance to this ride is off to the left, near Skycatcher, their Starflyer ride. I love the logo that they designed for this coaster because it's very simple and also very eye-catching. There's some facts about planes and World War II stuff in the queue line, which is nice because Kentucky Kingdom didn't have to add that in, but they went out of their way to theme it a little, which is cool. So you get up into the station and notice that it is a very small station. The train for this coaster is short, so it doesn't need a big station. This coaster does run with Timberliner trains, which are my favorite wooden coaster trains. When I first experienced these, I knew right away that I liked them more than Millennium Flyer trains and PTC trains. You sit down, and it is so comfy. You pull down your lap bar, which comes down on you from the side. These are the only wooden coaster trains to do that. The front car for both trains are so good looking. It's got that World War II fighter plane design on it, in blue and silver. You dispatch out of the station and go up the lift hill. As mentioned previously, it's 47 feet tall. You get to the top, turn to the right a little, and go down the drop. It's 44 feet down, and this is where you hit 35 miles per hour. Of course, if you're in the back, the drop is better. You start by going over an airtime hill, which actually gives ejector. Yes, you heard it here. A family coaster gives ejector airtime. You turn a little to the left and up into another airtime hill. This one is more floater, which is nice that it mixes both kinds of airtime together. Most coasters give one or the other. Very few offer both. You turn back to the right a little and go through a small double up. The first hill was the biggest surprise when I rode this for the first time. Straight ejector airtime, and it is actually shocking. Both hills actually give good airtime, more on the ejector side. You then make the turnaround to the left at the farthest point of the ride and start heading back. This ride has an out and back layout, which I was very happy with when they announced the design of this ride. You dive down, which if you're in the back, you get yanked over this little dip. I was actually surprised how much you get flung over right here. You pop up and then go through what some people call a quad down. You hear that, lightning rod? You aren't the only coaster out there with a quad down. It's 4 consecutive airtime hills that ever so slightly go downhill each time. Obviously, this is nowhere near the insanity of Lightning Rod's quad down, but that's to be expected. This is a family coaster after all. Each one of these hills are pretty good though. You go over, surprise surprise, another airtime hill, where this one is floater, bank left a little, over one final airtime hill which gives a good pop, and then glide into the brake run. This ride is very fun. It is rather short, only about 30 seconds long, but I don't have a problem with it because the airtime this coaster gives is very good for a family coaster. Gravity Group knows how to make great family woodies with airtime, and this one is no exception. One more thing though, as you come back into the station, you go through what might be the tightest turn on a roller coaster in the world. It's within 9 feet, which is insanely tight. This just proves how well the Timberliner trains can articulate around curves. A typical PTC train would not be able to make this turn at all. I remember when I saw the animation for this coaster, I was like, wow, that turn is super tight. And then you come back into the station. Kentucky Flyer is very re-rideable, probably the most re-rideable coaster I've ever ridden. I could ride Kentucky Flyer all day. It is very smooth for a wooden coaster. When I first rode it in 2019, it was brand new and was glossy smooth. Now, 2.5 years later, it has gotten a tad rougher, but that's to be expected with a wooden coaster. It is still super smooth though. The airtime it gives should not be as good as it is, honestly. When Kentucky Kingdom said they wanted the best family coaster possible with Kentucky Flyer, I think they 100% succeeded with this addition. It is thrilling enough that coaster enthusiasts love it, and tame enough that little kids can ride it and enjoy it too. It has a 40-inch height requirement for crying out loud, which means kids 5 or even 4 years old can ride this. I wouldn't be surprised if this is many kids' first big roller coaster. It's definitely a great choice. It is also very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. The white structure with the red rails look amazing. For row recommendations, my personal favorite row is the back because you get pulled over those airtime hills more. If you're not an enthusiast though, I'd recommend the front because it's smoother and you get the view. For Kentucky Flyer's overall score, I will give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now this is a family coaster, so of course it's not going to score as high as the big thrill coasters, but compared to other family coasters out there, this is definitely at the top. It is my favorite family coaster I have ever ridden, and I've ridden some good ones like Fire Chaser Express and Dragon Flyer at Dollywood, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom, and Wave Breaker the Rescue Coaster at SeaWorld San Antonio. Kentucky Flyer beats all of those in my opinion. Kentucky Kingdom hit a home run with this edition, and I really want to see more of these Gravity Group family woodies built. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and this is Coasters and Things signing out.